All right, it's 3:03 p.m., July 10th, 2026. You know what I'm saying? It's AJ. I just recorded a video that was 16 minutes long, and I was talking about this movie called The Invisible Man that I saw. I saw that movie probably like a month ago, but I watched it again recently last night and also this morning. And it reminded me of a dream that I had. And like late time of 2023, I believe. And I was walking up the porch, my auntie crib, and it was like burgundy paint on the porch, and the paint was still wet. It wasn't super wet, but it wasn't like dry. You know what I'm saying? You could still you basically couldn't touch it still. And it was like a bird, kind of. I think it was like a little bird or something that was kind of like stuck in the paint, like where a baby bird kind of stuck in the paint. And I had made a mistake and almost stepped on it, but I didn't step on it. And I walked in the house, and I saw when I walked in the house, I saw like a pool table, and then I saw like this big window next to the pool table, and I saw outside of the window it was some dude next to a gas truck, and he was see through. But he had on a hat and sunglasses, and he was singing this country song, yo. Like a well-known country song. I thought that dream represented this one dude that was in a tiny home shelter, in tiny home unit number 31, that I was living in between like February of 2025 to June 2025 in Los Angeles, California. I thought that dream, because the dude that was in that tiny home shelter with me, it was a 71 something, it was like, dude was 70 something years old. You know, this older man named Michael. And I remember he had a hat that reminded me of that dream that I had. I also thought when I first had the first encounter with somebody that I thought was a representation of that dream was July 28, 2024, when I was in Inglewood, California, when I was getting baptized. It was this white man that was a pastor. It was this fat dude. I shouldn't call him fat. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of rude. It was this heavy set man. Bald head guy that worked at the LA Mission Shelter. He plugged me with the people to get baptized. I talked to him about getting baptized. I even said a prayer with him in his office at the LA Mission Shelter. This is in July 2024. He was the one that I said a prayer with. I said a prayer with him in his office, and then I said a prayer with him before I got baptized. And then I said a prayer while I was doing the baptizing and everything. He was the one that I was saying that prayer with, and he was basically telling me, repent for dishonoring your parents and I just looked at him like, of all things to say, why would you say that? And like I said, I recorded a video way back a few months ago, and I said some things that I've been through in my life, I feel like I should not have been apologetic for it, but I still just, come on, man, it's all glory to God. It's all worship to God. So I said my apologies to God about everything, and then I said I pray that everybody be blessed with God, love and goodness and forgiveness and all of that. You know what I'm saying? When I was saying this prayer with this man that worked at the LA Mission Shelter, he was a pastor at the LA Mission Shelter. He had an office in there and everything. He was like one of the main pastors at that LA Mission Shelter. So the Los Angeles Mission Shelter over there on 50 San Pedro Street. I was not a part of a program, so I would just book an emergency bed for the night. But that man gave me the number to the people that was doing baptizing people. So I got baptized on July 28, 2024. When I walked up to the area where I was getting baptized at, the first thing I saw was this white man with sunglasses on. And he had one of them hats that was similar to the hat that I saw in this dream that I had in like November, December time of 2023, or like January time of 2024. I don't remember the exact month, but I know it was around that time. And the hat that he had was similar to the hat that this invisible see-through man had on in the dream that I had, yo. And when I got baptized on July 28, 2024, I was also thinking that maybe that was God telling me, yeah, I'm doing the right thing or something like that as far as getting baptized. I thought that invisible see-through person was possibly like more of a metaphor, like it wasn't just one person. Maybe it was a bunch of people that was involved in some type of a secret cyber attack over my life. I don't know, yo. But I personally feel like people should not take dreams that I've had in the past and then try to convert that into their own personal sermon or their own revelation or their own personal judgmental claim over somebody else, because that's not the right thing to do. I might be called lame as fuck for what I'm about to say. But I personally look at life sometimes like, if God was to ask me, okay, what did you do, with your life? Like right now, not even after Armageddon and all this other stuff, but if he just sat down and just asked me, like, what you do, what you done in the last few years? I'd be like, yo, I try to speak vindication. I try to like clear my name. I've been lied on. I've been defamed a lot. I've been framed a lot. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of situations, I feel like I probably could have brought more peace to a lot of situations, but I don't really know how to be peaceful and then be loving and forgiving, and when at the same time it's people that's trying to frame me. All, not to mention, I believe some people who's trying to frame me has been cloned before, so it's too much to try to understand. It's hard to really comprehend. So all you can do is try to be optimistic. You know what I'm saying? But I still personally feel like if God asked me right now, or if Jesus Christ came and sat down next to me and asked me what I've been doing, I personally believe that they both, I believe Jesus would tell me you could have done way better. You know what I'm saying? As far as trying to make peace and all that other stuff goes, I truly believe that. So with me saying that, sometimes I feel like I be trying not to gaslight myself. But if I'm being framed, if I'm being lied on, that got to be, like, I'm speaking on that. You know what I'm saying? That got to be spoken on. So I don't know what all that dream was telling me, but it did make me watch that movie, The Invisible Man, yo. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really explain how some things I be seeing sometimes, yo. People, it's so crazy. This is why a lot of people try to convert me to having some type of a mental problem. People just try to say, oh, this man got some type of an issue or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I talked about getting an EKG test back in the day and stuff like that. And they telling me, no, you good. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you and all of that. But I talked about when I was way younger, they said I could possibly have a heart murmur, but it never showed up as that. You know what I'm saying? And I think people are trying to take everything that I've said, even if I so much as said that I have it in a regular way of breathing while I'm asleep. And they'll try to convert that into being some type of a psychological or medical problem or diagnosis. So the point I'm making is I don't like talking about with dreams that I've had when it's a lot of people that's manipulative watching everything that I'm talking about, trying to persuade a whole audience and brainwash a whole audience of people to look at me in a negative way. So I gotta let it be known though, yo. I'm not no fool, you feel me? Like, I've been celibate 4 years, I've been sober 3 years. Now I'm watching this movie called American Heist, and I'm seeing that number again. So you will be surprised how many people will be obsessed with trying to lie on you and frame you when they think that God is in your life, because then they'll look at God. It's some people in this world that look at God like it's a competition or it's a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll look at you like, okay, since you having a dream about stuff and all of that, okay, I got something for you. Next thing you know, they'll be trying to like do a whole bunch of shit to like mess just your assignment up with God or your relationship up with God. Some people are obsessed with that kind of stuff. You got to be careful. So I don't even like talking about certain dreams and visions that I've had no more, because people try to convert everything that I've ever said into something evil and try to make me look scandalous to everybody else. But God bless to everybody, yo. I don't got to, I've been talking about being celibate and sober for the last year straight, every single day, all day. So anybody that would try to contradict that or try to mess that up or to try to make me look crazy in the midst of me saying that all day, every day is just fucking stupid, yo. Somebody let me know what's all going on, yo, especially if it's somebody that got a video, somebody doing something to me while I'm unconscious, or if it's way more to something, because I'm starting to think that something bad happened to some I know for a fact that family members of mine look like they've been cloned and stuff like that. I know that. I can tell that. I can see that. But I think something else has happened to somebody back in the day that I don't know about, yo. And nobody ever told me about it. I'm starting to think something bad happened to some lady, and nobody ever told me about it. Like in St. George or something like that. Or somebody probably threw something on my name or something bad happened to some lady. And probably in Florida. Sometimes I be wondering, like, one of my ex-girlfriends, did something messed up happen to one of my ex-girlfriends from back in the day, or the ladies that I just was having sex with, back when I was having sex in my 20s? I be wondering, as of lately, I've been thinking that, like, I think something happened to someone, and people are trying to throw it on my name. When I think about, the women that I was talking to, all the people that I was talking to back in my early 20s, my mid-20s, even in around 27 years old to 28 years old, I think all the ladies that I was talking to, something probably happened to one of them ladies, and then somebody trying to put it on my name. I'm about to get off this phone, yo. God bless to everybody, yo. I'm sorry, God, for cussing. Forgive me, please, in Jesus' name, amen. I cuss, anytime I use God's name in the same sentence and all of that, I'll be trying not to, like, cuss, but I'm just trying to understand what's all going on, yo. And it ain't easy when you got a whole bunch of people hacking your phone, a whole bunch of people lying on you, a whole bunch of people trying to frame you. And, it disgusts me when I think about, somebody trying to drug me and then try to make me look gay or something like that. So if it's some man, dog, that's saying that he doing something with me or talking to me, if it's some man passing around pictures of me or anything, I don't care about what you a part of. I don't care about you affiliated with. If it's some man trying to make it look like, somebody just let me know as soon as possible, yo. And also, if it's some lady, like, running around lying on me, saying that she talking to me or having sex with me, somebody let me know as soon as possible. Because for all I know, that lady could be, trying to plan on me, on try to find a way to get my sperm. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even know it. This can happen, yo. Like, people can set you up like this. People can frame you like this. I don't like making reports. That was never fun to me, making a report about something that happened. Because I be trying to mind my business and stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? I remember having a conversation with this one nigga, yo. When I was working at the Walmart distribution center, me and this dude was from Michigan. And we was, like, laughing because we was talking about how, where I'm from, most of the time people just be trying to stay out the way. Niggas don't be trying to be seen and be known, and you know what I'm saying? Like, because we got on the subject of, some people getting off into these, like, gangs and stuff, and they like 30-something years old and 40-something years old, and I was more so saying, like, usually, like, I'm used to seeing people trying to get their money up and stay away from the danger. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to seeing people, like, think with a state of mind of, like, survival first. You know what I mean? They be trying to stay away from the negativity. They be trying to stay away from the danger. They be trying to stay away from the violence. So I remember just, like, talking, like, laughing, like, some people actually embrace that stuff, and it's kind of funny to me how some people, like, they run off into that stuff, and I be trying to, like, most of the time, like, the people that I've been around, they be trying to stay away from that. I ain't gonna lie, yo. It was this one motivational speech I used to watch all day, every day. I watched it a long time ago when I was back in, like, the age of 26, 27. But that Steve Harvey, it was a Steve Harvey speech that he did way back in, like, I can't remember how long ago it was. He was talking about, like, having faith in Faith Street, and it was like a 27-minute video or something like that. I used to watch that video every day because the main thing that stuck with me was, like, when he was saying everybody got a gift. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you do, like, the best with the least amount of effort. Everybody got a gift. And I didn't know this about God. I didn't know this about people. But God really do create every human being with a gift. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a specific purpose in their life, and that's a gift, because Like a gift is like something that it's something that you really can't pay back. It's a gift. A gift, you know what I'm saying? So I used to watch that video. Everybody used to think that I was just some lazy ass nigga slouching around doing nothing all day, every day. Nobody knew that when a lot of the niggas that I was cool with back in the day, a lot of niggas from my old hood back in the day, when everybody started throwing dirt on my name and all these niggas was smashing all of the ladies and running through all of the ladies that I knew from back in the day. And all the ladies that probably knew some of my female cousins or knew some of my sisters back in the day. They was building up their whole name and reputation off of, you know what I'm saying, allowing certain people to throw lies on my name and then building themselves up off of, you know, what other people said about me. Even some family members of mine, you know what I'm saying? They saw that it was people saying foul shit about me, and then they felt like, well, it's going to make me look better to stand next to AJ, instead of looking at it like, no, you ain't about to try that nigga like that. You ain't about to do that nigga like that. A lot of people saw that as an opportunity to make themselves look more popular, to make themselves look more, you know, recognized and shit from other people. They want notoriety. They want fame. They're not going to act like they was hungry for it. They're not going to act like they was like super thirsty for fame, but you saw it in their demeanor. But they didn't present themselves like, yeah, I want everybody to like me. They presented themselves like, hey, man, this AJ right here. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. They knew how to play the game, put it like that. So while everybody was partying it up, you know what I'm saying, year after year, summer after summer, you know what I'm saying, living it up to the fullest, having fun with everybody on, you know, that was knew everybody from Instagram to Twitter to motherfucking Snapchat, you know, from 2000 motherfucking 12 all the way to 2020. I was in the crib, you know what I'm saying, writing down the same algorithms. I was in a house like just, I did go out a little bit here and there. I did smoke and drink. I did fuck with the hoes. I mean, I did like talk to the ladies and stuff here and there, but I was always still just feeling like, man, it's something that God is telling me, yo. And I'm just trying to figure out what God is telling me. I had no idea that God will reveal to me when I turned 30 that I had a closer connection, more of a I wouldn't say a closer connection because we can all be close to God, but I didn't know that I just had a specific connection with God. I didn't know until I turned 30 years old. I wish that I knew when I was 20 years old. I wish that I had went to church in the kingdom halls, you know what I'm saying? And I wish that, no, better yet, I wish that I had started talking to God way, way, way more when I was 20 years old, when I was, versus when I was 28 years old. I wish more than anything else that I could have just started like talking to God way more when I was like 18, 19, 20 years old. By the time I was 21, 22, a lot probably would have been revealed to me. But I still feel like God used everything for the better good, for his better, greater good, because I was in the house all day, the majority of the time, you know what I'm saying? People thought that I was just sitting around watching TV or watching videos on my phone, but a lot of time I was still like writing stuff down and it wasn't just, you know, studying a lotto or something like that. It was more so goals and stuff like that. And then also just observing the way the world is, like what makes a certain amount of money and stuff like that. So when I came to that realization that it's a whole lot more stuff you could be doing in this world that's peaceful, that's legal, and you ain't got to be doing a whole bunch of other crazy shit, I was like, yo, I don't understand how some people, and I was laughing with this one nigga at the Walmart distribution center, this one nigga that was from Flint. I was laughing like, bro, I don't see how some niggas, he was from Flint, Michigan. I was laughing like, bro, I don't see how some niggas like be so obsessed with this crazy, fast, dangerous life. Like most of the time, most people that I've been around, they be trying to get away from that stuff. They grew up and they realized that wasn't what they wanted to be around. And I came to the conclusion that it's not really about where you grow up at, it's just the way you process things. Some people process some things differently and they want to stay around that danger and that thug stuff forever. Some people get around that and they be like, yeah, I'm not with this. You know what I'm saying? And they prefer to like stay away from that kind of shit. Or change for the better and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to figure out everything, but what God gives you is what God gives you. So anybody that got dreams and got visions and all of that, take it to God first. Don't be quick to talk about it. Don't be quick to publicize it. Take it to God first and then go from there. That's my advice to everybody. Whatever you think about, whatever you dream about, talk to God about it first and foremost, yo. You know what I'm saying? Don't be quick to publicize anything, because just understand that anytime you go through a hard time in life, the majority of the people that know you're going through it, the majority of the people that hear about you going through it, they happy that it's happening to you. So what you think they go take everything you talking about? What you think they go do? How they go process everything that you're talking about? What you think they go do with that? You think they go listen to that and then feel like it's something that's something prophetically like a blessing to you? Even if it is, most people are going to be upset about that. They go hate on that. So your best bet is to just take it to God, pray about it, meditate on it, think about it for some time, and then, you can bring it up later. And like I said, speaking of wet paint, I still remember this one dream that I had. Sometimes I see people on my cell phone. Sometimes I see people on the TV, and then I probably have a dream about that later on, and I'll be thinking, well, maybe that was just my brain processing that differently, and that person ended up in my dream because I saw them the day before. You know what I'm saying? I woke up one morning and I had a dream that I was talking to Nipsey Hussle and some other dude. I couldn't really recognize him. This dark skinned nigga, and we was both talking to each other. All three of us was talking, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go. I'm about to leave." You know what I'm saying? One dude was like, "All right, I'm out," and then he dapped it up with that one dude and gave him some type of a handshake. And I remember saying like, "Hey, bro, I ain't in no gang or nothing like that, so I ain't about to like do the handshake what you did with him, like, or I ain't trying to do that handshake because I ain't in no gang. I don't want to like give nobody no mixed signals and nothing like that." And he was like, "No, it's like this," and he did like this, boom, boom, and he did like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what that meant. So I had that dream. I got to go through my phone to find that video, because right when I woke up, I recorded a video about that. I had a dream one time that I was sitting at a table, yo, and it was some dudes playing cards or something like that. And there was a dude that was sitting on the right side of me, and then it was a couple other dudes sitting on the left side of me. And somebody purse that came up missing or something like that. Something happened, and then some other dude was trying to accuse me of like losing the purse. And I was looking for it. I was like, I don't know what happened to it. It was some purse over here or something like that. And another dude was like, "Man, don't worry about it." And another dude was like, "Man, what you mean don't worry about it? I mean, he ain't steal it, but it's his fault that it's his fault that it's missing. It's his fault that it's gone." He was talking like that. Then this one dude that was like the dude that messed with the quality control people. You know what I'm saying? He got up and he was like, "The purse right here." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, yo." And I thought that dream was telling me that somebody had accused me of stealing the purse or some shit like that when I was in California. And then I ended up in this like Lambo truck, and there was a bunch of ladies in the car with me, and I remember saying, "Thank God I'm with y'all. I'm so glad to be around y'all. I'm so glad to be here with y'all." I was just around some other niggas, and I feel like one dude was trying to set me up. Another dude had to be the peacemaker and clear it up or something like that. I think it was like a black person. Like, I can't remember. It was like a tan color, like glittery purse or something like that. That was like, that all of a sudden came up missing or something like that. I'm trying to remember it. Then one dude had to get up and say, "Hey, the purse is right here on the side. It was on the side of some chair or something." But it was another dude trying to say, even though I didn't steal it, it was my fault that it came up missing or some shit like that. And then I ended up getting out of it was like a yellow Lambo truck. I ended up getting out the car, and the paint was still wet. Either that was lightning that just struck, some just blew the fuck up. The electricity didn't go out, but something just blew up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave Florida, yo. That might be a sign to dip. What the fuck was that blew up though? So like I was saying, yo, think that was a line, a power line or something. No disrespect to the people cars that I put in that video. I wasn't trying to get that car in the video. I was trying to get a picture of that power line up there. Something just blew up though. I think it was that power line. So, I don't know the neighbors or nothing like that neither. I just like nod my head and keep it moving, stay out the way type shit. But like I said, I was in like this yellow Lambo truck, yo. I was in like this yellow Lambo truck. And the paint, I ended up getting out the car, and around like the gas, I said, hey, it was like the paint was still wet on the car, but it was also wet around like the gas can part. You know what I'm saying? You know how these new trucks now, like, you don't really got a handle nothing on the gas cap, on the part where the gas can be at, or the gas cap to your gas tank. But it was kind of wet. And I grabbed like a piece of like a wet metal piece of thing or something from the car. And I was like, yeah, take that with you. It's still wet. And then I was walking up these stairs. And I was helping this one lady walk up some stairs. And on the other side of the lady, another lady was helping her walk up the stairs. And I heard some lady crying. And also, like, the scenery was like this estate that I pulled up at. I saw it was like a big house. And I saw ladies running around with their titties out and stuff like that. I mean, women running around with their breasts out. And I remember saying, I'm so happy to be here around y'all. I'm so grateful to be here, yo. I was talking like that. And then I was helping some lady walk up these stairs, and I heard like some lady crying. I'm like, yo, who is that? They was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, no, who is that? Like, I hear some lady crying. You know what I'm saying? Some box just flew over here from the people next door. Like I said, it rained a lot in Florida, so. But, and then after that, fuck. Let a fucking fly in. Then after that, woo! You can see that lightning that I just saw. Then after that, that was it, yo. Like, I was walking up these stairs, and I personally took that dream, and I thought that was God saying, don't let distractions get to you. Like, don't get focused on lust. Don't let chasing these, like, ladies around and all that other stuff throw you off into sin and distractions and stuff like that. I gotta say this too, yo. I love my whole family, my aunties, my uncles. I made a big message talking about I got framed. I think that somebody made a suicide statement up about me and tried to frame me back in December 2020. I love my Aunt Ethel, yo. I love my Aunt Grace, my Aunt Zenda, all my aunties in Carolina. I love all my uncles and my cousins, my pops. But something scandalizing did take place, yo. Something happened that hindered my life and then kept me away from being able to be social on social media. It was a block on my phone. And people don't believe me, yo. Like, and vengeance is God's. I ain't got revenge on anyone yet for all the stuff that I've been through. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying, like, I'm getting certain people back, but I ain't got people back yet, yo. But I think it's something that's negative ongoing here. I think my phone been getting hacked in Florida a lot. I think it's something that's going on that I don't know about. Like I said, it rain every day in Florida, so I don't really trip over that. But I feel like God is telling me that some messed up stuff is ongoing, and like he upset about it with how people try to frame me. Look how it's raining out here, yo. It always rain like this. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I've been celibate since February 2022. I've been sober since February 2023. If anybody's trying to accuse me of stealing last time I stole anything, yo, I was 16, 17 years old. That was practically 20 years ago the last time I stole it. So nobody could be accusing me of stealing. Nobody could be trying to frame me or defame me. But since I've been in Florida, I saw it. I made it clear. I made a statement. I said a lot of people in the Caribbean community, the Hispanic community, they've been lying on my image. They've been framing me. They've been hacking my phone. After February 7 to 2026, my phone had a hack on it. I called the police like 7 times, yo. You know what I'm saying? Talking to them about the same thing. My phone is hacked. My phone is hacked. My phone is hacked. There's nothing we can do. 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 Then by June 12th, when I woke up feeling kind of lightheaded, you know, he told me to go to Coconut Point Emergency Room. I went there. They told me that the name of the Wi-Fi is guest. I click on that. As soon as I click on that, my phone get hacked. It was already hacked, but it got hacked even worse after that. And then when people saw that I publicized the report about my phone being hacked on June 13th, 2026, around 3:20 in the morning, all of a sudden, my phone can record for 5 hours now. I couldn't even record a video for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? My phone was hacked from like February all the way up until like June 13th. And the reason why I made a report was because the next day after I left from the hospital, the next sun up day, it was pretty much the same day because I left there around like 3, 4 in the morning. But when I got back to where I stayed at, where I'm at now, this was June 13th around like noon time, around like 12 or 1 p.m. My phone glitching and shit. Kept on glitching. It's obvious. I see what's going on. I said before, I say again. I reached out to people in the past and on certain DMs and said, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Female celebrities, female rappers, female singers. But nobody ever said anything back, yo. So I just thought that they probably is seeing what I'm talking about, but they talking in a certain way. But like I said, as of the last couple years of my life, I let it be known to the cyber hacking agency that I reached out to. I told them there is a demo on my phone. There is a diversion on my phone. There is a diversion on my phone, meaning that it's somebody putting a fake-ass recorded demo of the internet on my phone, and they're using the real version of the internet, and they socializing back and forth with people. And then they taking bits and pieces of my videos, not the whole video, but just a clip of my video, and they making up lies about me. They already plotting and planning in the future, I believe, on how they gonna come forward to say, yeah, I made up a lie about this guy. Yeah, I'm a Mason. Yeah, I've been doing this, and like, once people feel like they got you defeated, they'll show a sense of humility, and then, you know, that'll be it. Ain't no telling. They'll probably have somebody clone them and then come forth and, like, confess and be somewhere else sitting back with their feet kicked up laughing. God bless to everybody, yo. The whole point I was making is, when I first came to California, my mind was made up on, you know, getting my life together. And I revolved my mindset around vengeance as God's, because I was upset about a lot of stuff I've been through in the last few years, especially when I was living in Fort Myers. Niggas shooting at me and shit. I said, let God handle all of that. I'm going to let God handle everything, all of that. So vengeance is God. So that's what made me upset when I realized that it was people that I was related to, all of a sudden looking different and being cloned. I was like, oh, they attacking my family. Then they're trying to put it on me, and they're trying to say that I'm a part of some secretive organization. Not only is they doing that, but they also trying to make it look like I'm running around out here engaging in sex. They also trying to make it look like I'm running around out here stealing. They also trying to make it look like I'm running around talking to numerous people. That's why I made a report on June 12, 2026. Let it be known. I woke up, I felt lightheaded, my penis felt kind of sensitive. I don't trust anything. So I made a report and I said, okay, just in case there's some lady saying that she engaging in sex with me, then I reached out to the deputy also. And I told him that in October 2025, October 2nd, 2025, I did the same thing, but they was telling me it was nothing that they can do. So I went to an urgent care after going to an emergency room, went to emergency room, urgent care, went back on a follow-up of the urgent care, and then I made a report in November 2025, like, look, just in case somebody's saying that they've been impregnated by me or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I actually saw that. I saw it through the window. Somebody saying they've been impregnated by me or something like that. Or somebody saying that they having sex with me, I'm being lied on, I'm being framed. I've been celibate since February 2022. But I'm not with the chaos and the confusion and the hurt and the slander and the pain. I'm not with that, yo. So when I record videos and I put up big statements talking about family members trying to frame me, that 2008 Southfield Lathrop High senior jersey that I never wore. That jersey was a souvenir to me. I never wore it, yo. I never wore it. I never wore that 2008 Southfield Lathrop High jersey that I got in the year of 2008, in the springtime of 2008, right before my senior year in high school was over with. I never wore that jersey, never. That's why it was a souvenir, because I never wore it, because I got it at the very end of the year. Everybody else who had got them jerseys got that jersey at the very beginning of the year. The lady had disliked me, and I ended up getting that jersey at the very end of the year. The lady that like took care of the senior dues. She didn't even give me I still remember she didn't give me a prom ticket, even though this was almost 20 years ago. I still remember all of this. So it being that I had flunked the 6th grade way back when I was a kid, and I ended up getting a senior jersey, and I caught back up and got in the right grade and graduated on time with my twin sister and stuff like that. I saw that differently. Like, that jersey, it wasn't just a regular, it was a baseball jersey, yo. Everybody who had them jerseys, you know, they were baseball jerseys. Everybody that was a senior at Southfield Lathrop High, they had their own specific jerseys. You know what I'm saying? And my name said Breadman on the back of that jersey. BREAD-MAN on the back of that jersey. I never wore that jersey, yo. Never. Never. It was red, black, and gray. So I always said, whoever took that jersey, whoever stole that jersey, when I was living in St. George, South Carolina, I didn't give that jersey away. I didn't let anybody have that jersey. That's what made me so upset about it. I never wear that jersey. So the thought, if some lady was running around saying that I was fucking her and she had my jersey, that would make me upset. I'd be like, hey, baby, you need to come and clear that up. But if some man is running around with my jersey, yo, that's the type of shit that made me say, nigga, ain't nothing you can do to make, I'm go find out who you is. Because that kind of stuff I take personal. But I beg God for strength. I beg God for guidance. I beg God for instructions and direction. And I just said, God, I give it to you. I give all of this to you. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Nobody is telling me whatever happened to my jersey. It's a block on my phone. They keeping me away from socializing with people that I went to high school with it. On my Facebook. McCray Bread Mo and Al Frame. The last time I've been on that Al Framed account or that McCray Bread Mo account was way back in 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like September or August of 2025. So even before that McCray Bread Mo account, that AV McCray account that I had, that was my actual real Facebook account. I deleted that account. But still to this day, yo, a lot of people don't think that they can go get away with a lot of stuff because people feel like as long as they're in a big group, they can just lie. They feel like they're around a whole bunch of people that's like in the same old cult. They could just keep lying. Because they look at it like, nigga, we covered. That lady over there worked for the city. That lady over there worked for the state. Them people over there work for certain government jobs. They all in the same brotherhood or sisterhood. That guy over there is a cop. That guy over there is a sheriff. They work for the same brotherhood. I mean, they are affiliates of the same brotherhood or sisterhood that's not even job related. Like people that's in biker gangs. People that's in biker gangs, it's a lot of police officers that's in biker gangs and stuff like that. They biker gang don't got nothing to do with that job or that badge or nothing like that. That's just something that they do recreationally on the side. But that biker gang is probably more of their life than being a police officer is, or it's probably more of their life than actually working for a job is. So I'm letting all this be known, yo, because like I said, I realized the difference in my phone activity after 2022, December 2022. It was always hacked, but it got worse after December 2022. So I believe that my phone was hacked, yo. And people fabricated some type of a note and framed me. So while everybody is constantly multitasking all of these constant, continuous conversations with other people, trying to depict me to look like I'm talking to people and having sex, I've been celibate for 4 years and 5 months. I've been sober 3 years, 5 months. No smoking, no drinking, none of that. The day before yesterday, I went to the store, come back. It's some pills spilled out all on the damn floor. And they are pills that's like for stool softener that a doctor way back in Los Angeles, California gave me when I told him that I had hemorrhoids. Those pills was at my Auntie Mary Smith apartment at the Regal Tower Apartments in Southfield, Michigan from June 2025 all the way up until June 2026, until as of like the last few weeks ago, she came here around like June. She came to Florida around like June 15th or June 14th, or June 13th of 2026. And she went to Gainesville. And my mother said, or my mom clone said that she was about to go meet up with my Auntie Mary Smith or my Auntie Yang Yi and get these pills, these stool softener pills. Get my two nieces. But she gave me this big bag right here. This big ass bag. And this bag, all my stuff was in it that came from that I left at my auntie house. And those pills was in it. They was in this right here. You know what I'm saying? This big ass pouch that I got from one of the Wesley Health Truck Center. Wesley is a hospital, you know what I'm saying, or an urgent care center. But they used to come to the shelters in Los Angeles, California, and give you free COVID tests. You take a COVID test or you take an HIV test, and you get like a $20 gift card. So I used to take tests just because. And they'll give you those little things with like soap and shampoo and shit. But I had some of them pills in here that was for stool softener. I think people's lied on me for a long time and tried to make it look like that I pop pills for recreational high. I'm not doing that, yo. I've been sober since February 2023. I'm not even popping pills. I ain't doing none of that shit. I ain't even take them pills. Them pills for stool softener, I ain't even take them. They also gave me some pills for low potassium when I went to Beaumont Emergency Room on July 10th, 2025. In Farmington, Michigan. And some blood pressure pills that I took. That was also at the Wesley Center. Around where Santa Monica and Vermont is at, I think. Something like that. But I ain't even take those. But for a long time, when people got your phone blocked away from the reality of the internet, they can say whatever they want to say. It don't matter how many videos you make of vindication. But yo, what everybody is doing is go show. People think they're getting away with this stuff, yo. So I think I'm about to leave Florida. I'm not certain. I'm gonna pray about it and see. If God telling me to leave Florida, yo, I'm out of here. I'm just trying to figure out where the next step is because South Carolina, I don't know, yo. My question to anybody is, would you go back? It's not about it's not about anybody else's opinion. It's not about what you think. It's about what God said, and I just go whatever what God tell me to do. Sometimes I be wondering if I did the right thing when I left California when I did. But I be wondering, like, would you go back to an area where people did you dirty at? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, little kids mocking you, little kids disrespecting you. And they parents are smiling down at them with a grin on their face like a proud parent after a little kid disrespect you. That's like that. I actually saw that when I was in South Carolina, yo. That kind of stuff creeped me out. So imagine how the adults act towards you if they training kids to talk to you in a crazy way. You feel me? But I'm gonna get off this phone. God bless to everybody, yo. I hope everybody be drawn closer to God, blessed with God, love, and goodness. I said earlier when I first started talking, if I actually sat down and gave a rundown of everything that I did in my life to Jesus, I feel like I could have done way better. Well, like the stuff with just the circumstances that I was put in, I feel like I could have done way better. But I'm being lied on, yo. I'm being framed. I could tell. Like, ain't nobody being held back and kept away from holding a conversation with me, yo. Ain't nobody being held back and, you know, ain't nobody gonna have a gag put on them. It's people of these cults. They trying to make me believe that the whole world is under some type of a oppressed hand that's forcing them to like not hold a convo or anything. So I've been framed, yo. Ain't nobody saying, hey, you better stay away from that nigga. We gonna kill you if you go around that nigga. I don't think that's happening at all. I think that some people I think people is either sitting back watching, like being patient, low-key rooting for me because they see what's really going on in my life, or some people reached out to me and they think they talked to me and never have. But it's scary. What I've seen in my life, it's scary, the stuff that I've seen people do. The way they put a hack on my phone, the way they put this hold over in their life. And they think nothing gonna happen. On a positive note, though, God bless to everybody, yo. Get off this phone. And like I said, there's some people that I've been around in the past, they just obsessed with control. They are obsessed with control. Watching me be in some type of a situation where they feel like I need them or I'm just in dire need of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some people that's obsessed with that kind of control. And there's nothing you can do about it. But I never wanted to see something bad or dangerous happen to somebody that I was related to. But some people, they love that kind of shit. They love when you're not that type of person because they'll keep on antagonizing you and provoking you and then paying people to do stuff to you. I truly believe that my family members probably came and ran to my rescue, my siblings and my mom probably came to California and told me what was really going on, tried to tell me what was going on, and got attacked and got kidnapped and got cloned, yo. So who put that together, yo? Like, it's 3:51 p.m. July 10th, 2026. Or maybe they were trying to set me up. I still feel like people trying to set me up. But God bless and thanks to everybody that's been helpful in any kind of way, because I do believe that a lot of people has possibly been trying to help me out or let me know what's going on, but it's really, I ain't even expect to be talking this long. I'm going to get off this phone. So, it's going to work out. And like I said, yo, I'm not lying about reaching out to these ladies and like getting no response. I don't know if they aware of that, but if it's people keeping me away from actually being heard, that's the most cowardly move ever, yo. And it's really pathetic. Like I said, it's a sign of I honestly at this point believe that it's kind of sort of like you're mentally challenged if you're doing that to me. It's something that's wrong with your mind. You're not a psycho. Like, it's way more than just psychotic if you're trying to keep me away from being heard or you putting a block on my phone and keeping me away from communicating with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that's not right. Because if it's some lady that's some type of a fatal attraction, then why she not just letting herself be seen. Most time, if it's some lady that's a fatal attraction, she go do something to be seen, and she go do something to let herself like be able to connect with me or come around me. So I realized I don't even think it's some lady that's some type of a fatal attraction. I think that it's some dude that's affiliated with the brotherhood that's gay, and the reason why I believe it's some gay dude that's attacking me is because the stuff that I've seen, it doesn't show the like the characteristics of some lady that's a fatal attraction. Every time I ever said that, oh, it's some man, it's gay dudes out here that's a part of certain brotherhoods that be bothering me, it made things way worse for me. So I think it's men that are a part of certain brotherhoods, yo, that got tendencies of like of women, and they doing feminine things, yo. I dealt with ladies who was pissed off and jealous. When they pissed off and jealous, they gonna let it be known they pissed off and jealous. You gonna know at some point in time who that lady is. She not just gonna keep on like hiding. She gonna let it be known who she is. But the stuff that I've been through, yo, I don't know. Maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe it's some dude that's just, he got that what was that dude in the Bible name that was pissed off at the dude David, Saul, who was the man, and then all of a sudden, like, he just got mad at David, and he was upset because he wasn't, like, praised the way David was. That could, like, it could be that. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody who just got that kind of mentality. I learned a long time ago, though. Revolving your life around what everybody else wanted, what everybody else think. Everybody like to be praised. Everybody like to be liked. Everybody like to go somewhere where they loved and recognized and respected. But people go always shift and change, yo. Emotions go shift and change. Loyalty might shift and change. The only thing that matters is putting God first. Because no matter who you are in this world, you're going to be disappointed by someone at some point in time in your life. That's life. But putting God first, God will never disappoint you. Even when the worst things happen, it ain't God that's doing it to you. So I feel like a lot of stuff that's ongoing, God sees what everybody is doing, yo, but people go keep on doing this stuff. They go keep lying, and they go keep hacking my phone and trying to frame me. I'm going to get off this phone, you feel me? God bless everybody. Let me make sure I said everything, yo. The whole point I was making about dreams that I've had is I bring them to God first and be trying to figure out what God is telling me. I don't know everything yet. Hopefully it makes sense in the future. If anybody ever reached out to me and you think you was talking to me, you wasn't talking to me. In the last 4 years of my life, you know what I'm saying? If you ever reached out to me, honestly, like the last 5 years of my life, if you think that you was holding like a long-term conversation with me, if you think that you've been talking back and forth with me for a whole year, anybody, if you think you've been talking back and forth with me for the last 2 years or 3 years straight, you have not been talking to me. It's been somebody hacking my phone, hacking my image, and lying on me, keeping me from being heard.